one of the questions I get asked the most as a homeschool mom of 8 kids is, are you worried about socialization? And my answer to that is always the same. Yes, I'm very concerned about socialization for the kids who go to the public school system, because what are they being socialized in? They're with the exact same age group of their own age for 7 hours a day. They're learning basically from their peers. They have a teacher, maybe a couple teachers. You have no idea where those teachers come from. You don't know their background. You don't know what they're teaching them. In fact, there's a whole agenda that they're being indoctrinated with. And yeah, you don't know their friends. You don't know what their parents believe. You don't know those homes they come from. You don't know anything about those other peers, and they're just sent to school for 7 or 8 hours a day with people who you have no idea what is going on. So yeah, I'm very concerned about the socialization for my kids if they went to school. On the other hand, as a homeschool mom, I make sure that everybody they interact with is, I understand and know what their family's like. I've made sure that I agree with a lot of the things that they are learning about and who they encounter. And honestly, as more time goes by, the whole socialization idea is actually just completely absurd, because nobody is socialized. Everyone's on their phones. No kids these days know how to have an actual conversation. They don't know how to interact with adults or people besides their own peer group. And that's not real life. That's not going to translate to real life. In real life, you actually need to be able to hold a conversation. You need to be able to look someone in the eye. And that's just not what they're learning. Actually, in real life, you wouldn't say, well, I want to be successful, so I think I'm just going to go spend some time in prison so that I can learn what really bad people are like, so that I can be really good at what I do. It doesn't make any sense. You don't spend, wherever you spend your time, that is how you turn out. That is who you become. So the fact that we're sending our kids to school for 7 or 8 hours a day with people who we have no idea what their backgrounds are like, what their homes are like. We have no idea what they're actually being taught. The ratio of kids to teacher is so large that they could be learning whatever. So if you do it right, your kids are going to be getting plenty of socialization through sports, through church, through friends who you coordinate, who you know their parents, you know their background. This idea that you need to spend 12 years of their life learning things that have no application to actual real life that's not socialization. We've been completely programmed and conditioned to think that that's what they need to do to be normal and successful. And it's just not the reality. My son who wants to play football in college, I wouldn't spend 12 years of his life having to play baseball. I mean, yeah, it's the same game. There's a ball. Totally different games. You don't play one game for 12 years and then expect them to go and be completely successful at a totally different game called life once they've been doing school. They don't come out actually socialized in normal human behavior and how to be a successful human being. So yeah, that's my answer to that. I'm very concerned about the socialization of kids in public schools.